This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Well, over the last few weeks, I have reviewed all three of the Exit the Game series from Kosmos. These are basically escape room in a box series. I've reviewed each of them separately, I've talked about them, and now I'm going to sort of compare and contrast each of them so that you can watch this video and you can be like, okay, well, which one should I go with first? Should I do all three of them? And what? So, again, all those reviews you can see in the description of this video. I'll put the links of all my full reviews of each of those. So let's first start. Where would you start? If you were going to try this, where would you start? Well, first of all, they're only 10 bucks a piece online. They're all 30 bucks. They're all great value. I would just get them all because they're all great. But what would you do? I would by far recommend, my favorite one is the Abandoned Cabin. That one felt like the right amount of difficulty with 3 players for most of the game, but then a 4th player came in the last half hour. That one took us 90 minutes. And we got 6 out of 10 stars. We used, I think, 4 clue cards. That one had 2 amazing moments, really out of the box puzzles that, wow, we went, whoa, and we will remember. I mean, that thing was amazing. Now that one, all of these are supposed to be legacy style ones that you destroy and you won't be able to pass them on. That one, I purposely tried to do it so that we couldn't destroy things, and that one you could. If you have a color copier and you have some other things around the house, if you've got things in a normal office would have, you'd be able to do that and pass it on and not destroy things. But it might not be as fun, and it might not be, you'll have to stop the time to do it. You know, to stop your timer and get things up, and it kind of ruins the flow of the game. But if you want to do that, you can do that. So that'd be the first one I'd say. It was my favorite, and it was the right difficulty. My next favorite is this Secret Lab. This one was a little bit harder than the Abandoned Cabin. It took us 1 hour and 45 minutes. There were 3 of us doing it the entire time, 1 hour 45 minutes. I forget how many clue cards, but we got the same amount of stars as the first one, 6 stars. It was a little bit harder. There is a misprint on one of the clues, so on the second clue of one of the puzzles, go to see my full review about that. It doesn't break the game, but it does kind of throw you off a little bit. You'll still come to the same answer. It might just take you a little while longer. That one also I was able to play without, as long as you have the color copier and all the stuff in the house as an office, you can play that one and keep it without changing things if you're very careful and take extra time, just like the first one. It was a little bit harder than the first one, but I liked it. It was a lot of fun. So I would definitely recommend that one. Probably second. If you've done the first one, I would say that's the natural next one I would play. It was good, solid, absolutely. There's one time in there where you'll go, oh man, that's really cool. There was something I had never seen anything like this before. 2 of the other players I played with had both seen something like this, not in escape rooms, but in another life, in another world. They did that without spoiling it. But I had never seen anything like this, and I thought it was really cool. So that's the one. That's the second best one, and I highly recommend it. The last one is the Pharaoh's Tomb, and I'm not going to say don't recommend it because, again, these puzzles, just some of them fit your brain right, some of them fit other people's brains right. We got our butts kicked by that thing. I mean, honestly, first puzzle took 25 minutes before we finally just had to get the solution. I felt like it was misleading. Some of the clues, some things you were supposed to take literally, but they weren't really. I had a lot of problems. We had a few times we were just totally stuck. We got 1 star in this game, and it took us 2 hours and 45 minutes, and we used a lot of clue cards. That one was extremely difficult. That one's also the hardest one to keep legacy. Again, if you have the office and the color copier, you can do most of the game without destroying it, but there's one thing that's going to be, you can still do it. But again, it's going to take extra effort and extra time. But if you're really a nitpicker and you're like, I'm only going to buy this if I can keep it, there is a way to do it. You'll have to go through extra things to be able to do that. That's all I'm going to say about it. But that one was by far the hardest. It's the theme I loved the most, but it was the hardest. So here we go. If these 3 series want you to do, buy Abandoned Cabin, play it. It's awesome. If you like that one, buy the Secret Lab. And if you're really trying up for a challenge, get your smartest friends together, as many as you can, up to 6 players it says, you can probably do more, and try the Pharaoh's Tomb and see if you can get it. And they're cheap enough that if you already love escape rooms, buy all 3, you'll be fine. None of these I wouldn't recommend, just be careful with the Pharaoh's Tomb, it's really hard. So that's my sort of putting these things in a line for the Exit the Game series. There's supposed to be 3 other ones coming out in the fall. I'm really looking forward to those.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com.